Jacoby Jackson was part of the media brigade as well in the last few days. So I was kind of surprised it wasn't Jaden Ball, but, it was Jacoby Jackson. And you'll kind of maybe see why. But here's Jabbar Juluke and Jacoby Jackson talking about Jackson's role on the team.
Jack Cheese, Kobe Jack Cheese, that's what we call him. He is, when you have a student or a son or a child, whatever it may be, and you see that they get it, you get even more proud and excited about what they're able to do. Coming in from junior college and going into the SEC and getting a little bit of humble pie, having the red shirt thinking that he was ready to play. But he was patient. He still was steadfast to his craft, and he was learning. And I'm extremely proud of him, what he has done. I think Jack Cheese has a little more in his tank. He's built himself up mentally, physically, as a really productive football player in the SEC. And I'm excited about what he's going to be able to do as the season progresses as well. We still have work to do, right? And now we have to work on how do you handle success, right? Do I get complacent or do I get hungrier, right? And right now we are hungry. We're starving. We want to get better, right? And we got to make sure that we continue to do that. So Jacoby is one of those kids that I'm looking forward to seeing as well.
This spring has been smooth. It's been very good. Just staying consistent, continue to learn the system, and just becoming a better running back every day.
And you and Jaden are kind of the two-headed monster, if you will, of this unit. After last season, just how confident are you two?
We're very confident. Really, we're really ready to play the season right now. But just staying consistent is the main goal, and just becoming better any way we can be. So that's the real main thing right now.
How has your mentality, obviously goes without saying, but been different this spring practice? Knowing you're, one of the guys this year as opposed to last year. Being a little further down the depth chart.
I'm just getting everybody, like the younger guys, on the same level as us. Just making sure they're paying attention to detail, knowing everything what they need to do, and just staying positive through anything. Really, just always motivating everybody, and just being a leader. To be honest, that's it. You're
obviously, played a lot of years, but, haven't been at Florida as long as someone like Montrell, when he was on the team last year, just not having that kind of, veteran leadership. Just how different is that in camp so far?
Not having that, then you look forward to yourself. So it's time for me to just, become that leader. So it's just leading day by day, doing everything the right way. Watching Trell when Trell was here, took the key things from what he did and basically bring it to my own game and just do it like that.
Are there any guys or particular trends you've noticed in practice so far that you think are going to be something to keep an eye on this coming season?
Oh yeah, definitely. Number 21, KD Daniels, definitely a guy to keep your eye on. Say he's a guy who come in ready to work every day. He's very confident now, so I would say yeah, definitely KD.
You and Jaden sort of being on a similar trajectory last year and, getting more playing time as the season went on. How much do you think that helps knowing that you guys are kind of on the same track, if that makes sense?
Yeah, it definitely helped because we expect to play, but as the season went on, injuries happened and we played more, so that just built confidence. So now I think we're very confident in our ability and our game and the system that we learned. So just think this year is a very good year to look forward to running the ball.
About the offensive lineman, you talked about Austin and Damien, but 4 starters returning, Bryce stepping up at right tackle, and he has experience. Just how much is that as a confidence boost for the running back room, knowing that you got the same unit there in front of you helping you guys out?
Oh yeah, running back room with the O-line is really just communication. I communicate with the O-line we all on one accord, so it shouldn't be no misses for blitz pickup or anything because we're all on the same page. That's what help us, the communication. Everybody knows their job, so they're gonna communicate whatever else need to be communicated as well. So.
Jabbar Juluke went on to say about Jacoby Jackson, proud of his journey, that Jacoby Jackson is proud of his journey of being an undiscovered player during COVID and having to go to JUCO route and then graduate from that level in 2 years and also graduate from Florida in a total of 3.5 years between the two. He's very appreciative of playing at this level of competition at Florida and in the SEC, and that he could share with the young guys that it isn't always easy and to take full advantage of the opportunity. Juluke challenged him to be a leader and is looking forward to Jackson in that leadership role. So we go back a year ago, and Jackson, a breakout player who moved up from 4th on the depth chart to become a really key contributor for the 2024 season after transferring from Oklahoma Community College in 2023. He had red shirt. You heard Jabbar Juluke say that. He had the red shirt and kind of had to adjust. A time of adjustment there. So thought he might have been ready right away, but wasn't. Had to not play in 2023. Broke through in 2024. Tied Jaden Ball for the team lead with 7 rushing touchdowns while averaging 5.4 yards a carry, 95 attempts for 509 yards, and excelled against top competition. Now, of course, these games were losses, but 190 yards, 2 touchdowns against Georgia and Texas. Made his first career start against Georgia, had 74 yards and 1 touchdown. Followed that with a career high 116 yards and score on 19 carries versus Texas. In that Georgia game, Florida had Aiden Warner at quarterback. Very, very limited. And Jacoby Jackson goes a long way in that game for Florida being able to run the ball pretty well on Georgia, even though Georgia knows that run game's coming. Jacoby Jackson played 222 snaps and is projected to be a great 1-2 punch with Jaden Ball. I like that they both bring some versatility to the room, can be receivers out of the backfield as well. I think they both showed that last year. With a healthy DJ Lagway, Jacoby Jackson, Jaden Ball, I look for these guys to bust even more big runs if defenses have to start accounting for Lagway's legs as well. We missed that toward the end of last year, and the running game still was getting better as the season went on. Now, I think you pair that with the offensive line that Jackson and Juluke both raved about. The pass blocking is the biggest area for improvement there, but run blocking really showed up so well later in the season. You were limited at quarterback, but still able to run on Georgia. Florida had that big game-sealing run. Jaden Ball, that big game-sealing run versus LSU. And then the next week, you go back and look at the game against Ole Miss, and it was timely runs from Florida. You go look at the stat. Don't look at the board there. Actually, you know what? Go look at the stat board, because I'm going to tell you what it shows. You're not going to look at it and say that was some great performance for Florida. But Florida ran the ball better than any other team on that Ole Miss defense last year. The average per carry for Florida, now I don't remember off the top of my head, it was like 3.8 or something like that. I'm trying to go off the top of my head here. But that average was the highest that Ole Miss had given up all season long. And that defense, pretty good in their own right. Really, really good Ole Miss defense. Florida ran the ball on them better than anybody else did all season long. And we were seeing that toward the end of the season. It wasn't really equaling much. It kept Florida in the Georgia game. Florida was running the ball well in the second half. Texas game, take what you want to from that. The LSU game, the Ole Miss game, ending the season. Florida was running the ball well. Now it's time to pick up from there. You got that offensive line. Most of those guys are back. Jackson and Ball return with that offensive line. Hopefully it is pick up where you left off in that 2024 season.